Okay, so let's unpack this. We are diving into the blueprints for what looks like a genuinely unique leadership experience. It's called the Trailblazer Leadership Retreat.
Right, and this isn't your typical conference, not at all. It's an intensive, very curated 2-day leadership symposium.
And what we have here are, well, basically the secrets to its whole design.
That's absolutely right. And what's so fascinating is how intentional the whole structure is. Our sources give us everything, the detailed agenda, the location, and the bios of 4 really influential leaders.
But they're from completely different worlds.
Wildly different. We're talking automotive, high-stakes law enforcement, nonprofit advancement, and industry education.
It's the ultimate cross-industry mashup, really.
Mm.
The hosts, Cardinal Legacy Towing Group, they clearly believe leadership principles are universal.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're running tow trucks or a police bureau.
Exactly.
So our mission today is to, get into the weeds of the source material. We're going to extract the specific leadership frameworks they're teaching and explain why this mix of voices is so potent. We're basically giving you the best takeaways.
And we know exactly when and where this is all happening. It's set for January 29th and 30th, 2026. And the setting where? The Westin Cape Coral Resort at Marina Village in Florida.
Okay.
So the agenda is heavy. It's a rigorous 2 days. But the location, that's a brilliant strategic move.
Meaning they're not just selling a seminar, they're selling transformation and a reset.
Yep.
You get these intense growth sessions, and then you have the whole Florida weekend right there, built in for reflection and planning. That is smart.
It is. It recognizes that real growth needs input, sure, but it also needs processing time.
We absolutely have to start with the architect of this whole event, Jeff Bauer. His organization, the Cardinal Legacy Towing Group, is hosting.
He's the president there, and also of Complete Auto Body and Repair.
So if we look at his background, it kind of explains the values behind this retreat, right?
It explains so much. Jeff Bauer grew up in rural St. Paul, Missouri. He was one of 7 siblings. His childhood was, farm chores and working on classic cars with his dad.
So a real hands-on problem-solving background.
Exactly. It just naturally pulled him into the automotive industry.
And he didn't just join it. He really came up through the ranks.
Yeah.
Over 30 years in the field, he's done almost every job, from repairs to sales to overseeing huge operations.
And now he leads this whole family of companies, A&A Towing, Bolin Services, Laser Towing, and their growth is explicitly tied to service, integrity, and community.
Which brings us to the philosophical core of the retreat.
Yes, and this is the key detail. Jeff Bauer is a certified business coach and speaker with the John Maxwell team.
Okay, that right there. That's the Rosetta Stone for this whole thing.
It is.
If it's led by a John Maxwell coach, the foundation is all about character-based leadership. It's about developing leaders at every level, not just the C-suite.
Precisely. And what's fascinating is how he translates that into practical advice. Listen to the wisdom he offers a new hire. He says, let's figure out what comes naturally to you and then find a job that matches it.
That is such a critical piece of advice for any leader. Stop trying to force square pegs into round holes.
Right.
It's about alignment, maximizing what someone's already good at instead of just trying to fix their weaknesses.
Absolutely. It puts the employee in their sphere of competency from day one. And then he pairs that with this classic idea of service, saying if you can help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want.
Let's stick with that for a second.
Yeah.
That quote really is the essence of service-driven leadership.
It reframes success completely.
Yeah, it's not about just accumulation for yourself. It's about becoming a resource for others. If your whole philosophy is solving problems for people, your success just becomes a byproduct of that.
It sets the ethical bar extremely high. And to make sure everyone gets that direct coaching, they limit the spots. Only 30 people.
So it's intimate by design. You can't do deep personal growth work with 300 people in an auditorium.
No, you need that high-value, concentrated experience.
So we get the architects, we get the philosophy.
Yeah.
But what are they actually teaching? Let's dive into the core curriculum.
Okay, so the mission of the agenda is to strengthen leadership foundations and expand influence.
And given the John Maxwell Foundation, it's interesting they start with psychology, not logistics or operations.
Because you have to lead yourself first. The agenda totally reflects that Maxwell belief that influence starts with introspection. The first block of sessions is all about temperament and self-knowledge.
Okay.
So you have sessions called Sphere of Knowledge, Understanding the Temperaments, and a big one called Going Over Everyone's Culture Index Survey.
Wait, they use a culture index survey that you take before you even get there?
Yes.
That shows they're serious.
Yeah.
But for anyone who doesn't know, what is that survey actually measuring? And how does it connect to the temperaments discussion?
Great question. So the Culture Index is a tool that measures your natural behavioral drives. Things like your sense of urgency, how you handle conformity, autonomy.
How you're wired to work, basically.
Exactly. And by reviewing it beforehand, they eliminate all the guesswork. The temperament session then gives everyone a common language to understand why people react so differently under stress.
Which makes the training immediately actionable. It's not just theory, it's personalized. I even see an optional session here, life as a layer cake.
It's very holistic. And once that self-knowledge foundation is set, then they move into Maxwell's core strategic models.
Right, this is where the practical organizational stuff comes in.
And they bring out the heavy hitters. We're talking the 5 levels of leadership, and leadership is influence and change leadership.
The 5 levels of leadership. That's a classic. It's about earning your leadership, not just having a title.
It's a progression, right? You start at level 1, position, where people follow you because they have to. The goal is to get to level 5, the pinnacle, where people follow because of who you are and what you represent.
It's that crucial shift from just being the boss to actually being an influencer.
Mm-hmm.
But the strategy doesn't stop there. The agenda for day 2, Friday, looks like it goes into resilience and organizational health. This seems more like high-level executive training.
It is. They move into the 5 levels of decline. This is a crucial session for seeing vulnerability in your company before it becomes a catastrophe.
A diagnostic tool, then.
Exactly. It teaches you to spot when you're moving from, say, level 3, which is denial of risk, to level 4, grasping for salvation. It teaches vigilance.
And they pair that defensive strategy with proactive tools. I see adversity quotient and plan, do, check, adjust.
And that's where the real-world application kicks in. The adversity quotient, or AQ, it just measures how well you can cope with setbacks.
Which in the towing and auto body industry is a daily thing.
A daily reality. So that session is all about building grit. And plan, do, check, adjust is the classic quality management cycle. It sounds simple, but it's the key to continuous improvement. It's the opposite of complacency.
So it's self-assessment, influence training, tactical strategy, and then long-term resilience. But what really makes this a Trailblazer retreat is this panel of guest experts.
This is where that cross-industry idea comes roaring to life.
I mean, these speakers bring the high-stakes reality to all the theory. Let's start with Lieutenant Kyle Bruns from the Wentzville Police Department.
A 20-plus year career. That alone tells you he's seen it all in high-pressure environments.
But his credentials are what just stop you in your tracks. He's a graduate of Command College, the Southern Police Institute, and this is the big one, the FBI National Academy.
In 2024, yeah.
An accomplishment earned by less than 1% of law enforcement professionals worldwide. That's staggering.
It is. But the key for this audience isn't just the prestige. It's the transferable skills he brings. The FBI National Academy is all about executive leadership and decision-making under extreme stress.
So it teaches you how to make the right call, ethically and quickly, when everything is going sideways.
Whether that's a hostage negotiation or a catastrophic fleet failure, the principles are the same. And he's scheduled to lead the session on conflict resolution.
Incredible. So you're getting conflict resolution insights from someone whose job depends on it. Then you pivot completely.
A complete pivot to Heather Kemper, the Director of Advancement at the Miriam School in St. Louis, the nonprofit education sector.
So Heather's job is fundraising, community engagement strategy for students with unique learning needs. How does that skill set apply to an automotive business?
Her expertise is entirely in relationship-driven leadership and influence. In the corporate world, influence can mean just commanding compliance. In her world, influence means inspiring generosity and building resources where there is no obligation. She's a master of emotional intelligence and communication.
The so-called soft skills that the whole Maxwell philosophy is built on.
Exactly. She's the keynote speaker on Friday. So you pair the high-pressure decision-making from Lieutenant Bruns with the relationship building from Heather Kemper. It shows you the full spectrum of influence.
Leadership isn't just command, it's also connection.
It truly is. And we can't forget the glue holding it all together. The MC, Wes Wilburn.
Right, founder of the American Towing and Recovery Institute, ATRI. He's the industry education expert here.
He brings over 44 years of hands-on experience. He's trained over 20,000 professionals. I mean, that number is astounding.
Wow.
His whole career has been about elevating safety and professionalism in this specific industry. So he grounds all the high-level theory in daily operational reality.
He makes sure the tools don't just sound good, but that they actually work on the shop floor.
That's his role.
Okay, so let's synthesize this. We have a business president who's a certified coach, an FBI National Academy grad on resilience, a nonprofit leader on influence, and an industry educator as the MC.
And that synthesis is the ultimate takeaway for you. This retreat proves that operational excellence, influence, and resilience, they are universal leadership requirements. They aren't specific to one sector.
It's creating leaders who can navigate conflicts like a detective, build resources like a fundraiser, and manage operations like a coach.
And if you're interested in something like this, the source material notes that you can find info at cardinallegacystowing.com/events.
So what does this all mean for you, whether you're running a small business or a major team? I mean, this whole symposium is rooted in the belief that leadership is influence. And that starts with intentional personal growth.
And let's circle back to Jeff Bauer's core advice we talked about earlier, that success comes from matching your natural strengths to your work.
Right.
So we ask you to consider, what is one critical skill, one natural strength you have that your organization is currently, well, underutilizing?
To be anything. Communication, problem solving, operational analysis.
Exactly. Figuring out how to better align that specific innate strength with your organization's biggest needs. Solving that alignment problem, that is your key to unlocking your next level of influence.